Okay, so picture this with me. You're spelunking, right? Deep in a cave, in the Catskills no less. Creepy, kinda. You're in this cave and stumble upon, get this, an ancient-looking statue. Like, what would you do?
Me. I'd probably honestly leave it.
Right, that's what I'm saying. But in this documentary, The Unbinding, this hiker, he's like, nope, this is coming home with me. Even though, and this is the kicker, his friend's like, dude, bad idea.
So this is bad.
And that's where it gets interesting.
Because this isn't like your run-of-the-mill haunted house thing. These are paranormal investigators, Greg and Dana Newkirk. They actually run the, get this, the Traveling Museum of the Paranormal and Occult. So they're like used to this stuff.
Dude, dream job or what?
Right.
But even they are kind of freaked out by what happens with the statue. They're calling it the Crone.
See, and that's what makes this whole deep dive so crazy, because they're known for being skeptical, right? Like logic.
Totally.
So when even they're questioning things.
Something's up, and the Bloody Disgusting review was saying how the documentary, it really plays on that, like, eerie vibe, reenactments and everything.
Oh, really?
But it's not just about, like, cheap scares, is it?
Nah, it seems more like the filmmakers are more into exploring how, like, we interpret the unknown, not so much telling you what to believe.
Which, speaking of interpretation, some folks think this Crone thing, it might be connected to, like, magic or some ritual.
Whoa. Yeah.
Right. Talk about a whole other level.
Oh, yeah. And this is where it gets even more interesting with Dana Newkirk, because she's a practicing witch herself. So that's a whole different lens to view this through.
That's wild. So, like, does her being a witch give her some special insight or something? I mean, into what's going on with the Crone?
It's possible, right?
Yeah.
And it seems like she's actually trying to use her knowledge, her witchcraft, to kind of cleanse the statue, like get rid of whatever bad juju's attached.
Dude, that's both cool and kind of terrifying at the same time, don't you think? Messing with that kind of energy, even if you are trying to do good.
For sure. Especially when you consider they're using, get this, the Estes method to talk to.
Yeah.
Whatever's linked to the statue.
Okay, hold up. For those of us who aren't, like, paranormal experts, what is the Estes method?
So basically, it's using tech, like a spirit box, but to actually capture voices, messages from, you know, beyond.
So, like, tuning into a radio station that ghosts listen to.
Kind of, yeah. Like building a bridge between our world and whatever's out there.
That is wild.
Right. And the documentary really shows how intense it gets, especially this one session where Dana, she's the receiver, and she starts feeling actual pain, physical pain, while trying to make a 3D image of the Crone.
Wait, they're trying to get a visual? Like, see this thing?
Yeah.
Oh, hell no.
And it, like, takes a huge toll on her. Physically, emotionally.
I bet. It's one thing to hear weird noises or whatever, but to actually see something.
Yeah. Next level stuff.
No, thank you. And it really makes you think about what these investigators go through. But, you know, this whole communication thing, it's not just in the Unbinding.
And you know what's even wilder? The Telluride horror show, right? They've got this docuseries, the Creep tapes. It's like the same kind of vibe, but found footage.
The found footage. Oh, dude, you know that's going to be messed up. It's like, you're watching someone else's nightmare, but like for real.
Right.
But before we get too far off track, let's talk more about using tech to contact, you know, the other side.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because with this Estes method, doesn't that, like, change things? I mean, the whole dynamic of investigating, maybe even make it riskier?
It makes you wonder, right? Because it's like, we're not talking Ouija boards here.
Right, we're talking, like, direct lines using gadgets and gizmos. Like, what if that makes the energy stronger? Or attract something you don't want?
Whoa. Like, are we trying to, like, set the rules for how to talk to ghosts?
Exactly. And, you know, going back to the Unbinding, we haven't really talked about what the Crone looks like.
Ooh, good point.
Fill us in.
So they keep it hidden for a while. Like suspense, right. But from what I gather, ancient looking, almost skeletal, and the eyes, man.
Don't even.
Huge and creepy.
Ugh. Okay, yeah, now that's just nightmare fuel. Like, it could steal your soul just by looking at you.
Right. It's not even like scary movie scary. It's deeper, you know?
Yeah.
Something about it.
Primal.
Yeah. And when you think about it, a statue in a cave. Come on, that's like...
Textbook spooky.
Caves have always been like otherworldly gateways to something else.
Oh, 100%. They're like all those myths, hidden treasure, ancient spirits, portals to other worlds.
Exactly. It's like the cave itself is adding to the whole vibe. What if the Crone wasn't just randomly there, though?
Okay, here we go.
What if someone put it there?
On purpose.
Dude. Okay, now my arm is covered in goosebumps.
Right.
And that brings us back to, like, how we deal with stuff we don't understand. Do we try to, I don't know, be respectful?
Hmm.
Or do we freak out and try to, like, control it? Good question. It's easy to get caught up in the mystery, the adrenaline.
Totally.
But this documentary, it seems to say, slow down.
Be careful what you wish for.
Maybe. It's not just about proving or disproving ghosts, right? It's about how powerful belief is.
And how that affects how we see things. Even if it's not real, it's real to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe the scariest stuff makes you question everything you thought you knew.
It's like, what do we really know at the end of the day?
Right. It's almost a relief to admit that maybe we don't have all the answers.
It's true, though, isn't it? Sometimes it's scarier to think that there aren't answers, you know?
It can be, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like we're so used to wanting to know.
Right. To figure it all out.
But then when you think about it, there's something kind of beautiful about not knowing, about the mystery.
It's humbling, right?
For sure.
It's like that saying, the more you know, the more you realize you don't know.
Truth. You get one answer, and it's like 10 more questions pop up.
100. 1,000. And I think that's what's so cool about, like, all this paranormal stuff. It's not just about, like, ghosts and whatever.
It makes you think bigger.
Right. It's about reality itself.
And our place in it. Exactly.
It makes you wonder about all those old stories, those legends.
Right. Like, are those just stories? Or
Or what? What if there's something there? Like, something real we've just forgotten how to see.
ooh, that gives me chills.
Yeah.
Like, what if our ancestors were trying to tell us something with those stories?
Warnings, maybe?
Yeah. Or lessons? Or
Mhm.
just letting us know, hey, we're not alone out here.
Whoa. Okay, so back to square one. You're in that cave. You find the crone. What do you do?
Honestly, I don't know if I'd know until I was standing right there. It's like,
Yeah.
you can't help but be drawn in, you know?
It's that pull of the unknown, man.
For sure.
And it's crazy to think, like, one little decision right then and there, that could change everything. Maybe every day we're making those choices, walking towards or away from.
Our own encounters with the weird stuff.
Exactly. And maybe the real deep dive isn't watching a documentary. Maybe it's looking inwards. Like, how open are we really to the unknown? Not just out there, but inside ourselves too.
That's deep, man.
I know, right? So to everyone listening, next time you come face to face with something you just can't explain, just sit with it for a minute. You never know what you might find.